Rokka, Episode 3. The world building in this, I think, is definitely the best of the season, from what I've seen. That world building of the aftermath of previous wars to what the characters are going to have to do, to the tension in this episode. I mean, there's so much that this series is doing properly that's pretty damn good. Like, yeah. I am definitely invested after watching this episode. Like, I was on the fence. I mean, the series is good, don't get me wrong. I've enjoyed this series quite a bit, but I was still on the fence a little bit. Seeing this episode, oh yeah. I don't think I've seen a series like this, like with this type of tension, in a long time. The tension in this episode with the characters, like the non-trusting emotions between everybody, like our MC and then, Fremy, the way they weren't trusting each other, like the entire attention to detail and realistic approach to a lot of these character interactions definitely were stunning. Like, that one scene, the one scene in this episode right towards the beginning, like in the first 10 minutes, when you see how the main male character walks off, he's like, hey, I trust you, you won't shoot me and stuff, and, he's walking off and all that with her bullets, and all of a sudden, it looks like, from our perspective, the way she's looking at him, it looks like he's a trusting main male character, and I'm like, okay, he's like, a standard main male character putting his faith in her that she won't shoot him in the ass, and all of a sudden, we see from his perspective, he has a mirror, and he's looking behind him, and I'm like, bro, dude, that's just the character right there. That shows you what type of character he is. Like, at first glance, that looked like he was going to be a cliche main character, but after seeing that, with how he was not trusting whatsoever, and he held up that mirror, shows you what type of character he is, and what type of person he is. So I'm definitely liking the series, just from that alone. That one scene alone told me that I should expect some really great things from these characters, or at the very least our main male character, for him to have a reaction like that. Because normally when you see a series based around hunting down the demon king, demon god, killing the demon king, different things like that, usually the main male character is very trusting, and he doesn't really care, even if he has friends that might stab him in the ass. To see how he was like that, I gotta give mad props. That was some really good execution of tension in this episode, especially with the look to how the characters would turn, and it didn't look like they were turning completely around. It was very realistic, and so the attention to detail and the animation and the art production of this series, it's not the best. Like, I'm not saying it's the best art and animation stuff, but I'm saying when it comes to the attention to detail with the character movements-wise, when they move and stuff, it definitely looks very good and one of the best of the season, because a lot of these different little details that doesn't really seem to be much, like, first glance, a lot of these different movements, like a character barely turning and stuff, doesn't seem like it's nothing to really care about. At first it does, but if you really look at all the different general scenes throughout the episode and through the past couple episodes, you see how these little scenes just really help the atmosphere of the series. It really builds up that atmosphere to where you can just enjoy the series so much more. And that's exactly what this episode was. It's a very slow episode, though. I have to admit. Very, very, very slow. Like, this series, I think the main issue I think some are going to have with this series right now is going to be that slow pace. Definitely. That is going to be the main deciding factor of people dropping this series. It will be that slow pacing. I personally am loving this pacing because it's allowing a realistic build-up with this tension. And I mean, as I said in my last review, and even in my first impressions, in the description, it said that there's supposed to be like 7 heroes, and we've yet to see all of them unite. And so, the build-up is slowly coming. Like, the gradual build-up to that plot that we saw in the description. And so, yeah, Rokka, definitely a lot better than I thought it was going to be from this season. I thought this was going to be slightly generic. I really did. I thought it was going to be a generic series I was probably going to drop around episode 3. But I have to say, I'm probably not going to drop this series. After seeing and witnessing what I witnessed in this episode, and then the tone with, the pillars setting up the barrier and stuff, and one of the Braves have to go there, just so many interesting things playing into this that I'm looking forward to for the future of the series. And so, yeah, episode A lot better, I think, than previous episodes. Definitely. I have no denying. I'm not denying that. Like, I personally believe this is one of the best episodes yet of the series. In terms of pacing, tension, themes, setup, world building, and character interactions. Definitely, I think, one of the best episodes yet. So, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about Rokka? Are you going to continue watching it? Are you going to drop it? Let me know. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.